Hello, and in this one, I'm going to show you how to set up your Arch Linux system with Encryption and Btrfs. And I'll give you notes in case you don't want to use Btrfs and you want to use ext4. The process is relatively similar. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like on the video, and support me on my Patreon. It does help out a ton, as these videos do take a bit of time to make. So without further ado and enough flapping about, let's get straight into it. So step 1, we need a partition to actually make Encrypted. So we'll do lsblk, and we have this drive right here that says SDA. Now it can be something different for you. If you're using an NVMe drive, it will say NVMe something, or like if you have some RAID partition, or just find your drive basically. So I have a SDA partition that's 40 gigabytes, and then I'll use CF disk for this, as it is pretty easy to do. So let me just do CF disk /dev/SDA. Now I personally like this, as it does kind of have a TUI system, so it's a bit easier to use. You can use anything you want, but since you're watching this tutorial, let's follow along. You can see it asks us which type of partition we want to use. If you are on a newer system, so UEFI, just make sure to select GPT. If you're on an older system, then I would say use DOS. So since I'll assume that you will what, H225, I can't assume anything. Let's hope you will have a UEFI system. Let's click on this, and as you can see, we have our 40 gigabyte drive. So you'll have something else, like some other sizes, I would like to say. Anyway, in here first we'll do a new, and we'll just say 512 megabytes. So you can here have 1 gigabytes or anything, but you need an UEFI or EFI partition for your systems, basically your system bootloader. You need a separate partition for that in newer systems, but for older system you usually do not need this. But anyway, now we can select the type. Now usually it is not that mandatory, but you know what, it's better to do this. Then in this you can see we have 59 gigabytes. Now I do want to make a swap, although I'm using Btrfs, and you should check out the last video in case you want to know how you can do basically a safer swap inside of a subvolume in Btrfs. But for this, I don't care too much about the swap. So let's say I want a 4 gigabyte swap. Why not? Since the system has 8 gigabytes of RAM, I'll say 4 gigabyte swap is reasonable. So there we go, and the rest will go to our new Linux file system. Now this again, go to type, and then you can see there is Linux swap in here. Now I don't know if this does actually work. Well, I don't think it formats it particularly, but it will just tell the system what each of them are. Anyway, we'll do write, and we'll do yes, and this will write it to the partition. Now if I do quit, and if we do lsblk now, you'll see we have a few partitions. Now to be honest, I don't trust CF disk in terms of the partitioning themselves, the type part. So we'll just do a quick partition for like quick reformat for our sanity, and I would it's not a recommendation, I would tell you to do this. So we'll do mkfs, like it's mandatory, make sure to do this. So first our EFI partition, it has to be f32, so and then /dev. So this is pretty straightforward Linux installation stuff. If you have watched, or if you didn't watch it, I would recommend you watch all of like these two guides right here, which I have on Linux installation. These are pretty basic stuff on there. So there you go, we have our fat partition. Now then we have our swap. Now make sure the swap is a different partition, so we won't go to swap just yet, but I'll do SDA3, as that will be our main root partition, and change this to .btrfs. Now you could be tempted to do this, but do not do this just yet, because we need to actually encrypt it and then put a file system on it, because if we do this unencrypted, you can't encrypt it again. So what we will do is create the swap. So you can do mk swap, and it's the SDA2. So there we go. Now this is what you need to make your swap partition. There you go. Now we have our swap, we have our EFI partition. Now what else do we need? The main root system. So you know what, I won't clear this. So to do this, I'll show you two methods. One is the basic way you can do this. So you can do Cryptsetup, and then we'll do LUKS format. Now by default this uses I think you need a capital F, and then now I think by default it uses LUKS1, but again, for basic day-to-day use, or it shouldn't matter that much, but you can do this F12. So -h basically means the SHA size of it, F12, and then -h is hash obviously, and it is SHA-512. So as you can see this, and then we'll just do /dev/sda3. So this is our root partition. Now this is the basic setup, like absolute basic setup you can do. And I would say if you're getting started, like I'm not again that professional at this, but for a very bare basic setups, I would say just go with this. You don't have to worry too much about it. So let's just go with this. And you can also specify the LUKS format version. You can go to, I think, LUKS2. You just have to specify the type. So you can have to do LUKS2. But yeah, you know what? We'll keep it straightforward to this. Hit enter. And yeah, so you have to type yes in all capitals. Now this got me a few times as I just wrote lowercase yes and it did not work. So yeah, make sure to type it in all caps. Yes. And now you have to add a password for your system. Now here's the thing. You have to remember this as like every time you have to boot into your system, it will ask for this password. And like it can be set up to not ask this, but what's the point of encryption if you are going to bypass it anyway? So we'll just add a passphrase. So there we go. I'll put something easy for me, but again, type in something that you can repeat and easy to remember, because if you forget this, it's gonna be a bad time. So there you go. Now it has been set up. Now we cannot actually, if I do lsblk, so you can see we have our version. It doesn't seem much has changed, but to use that setup, we have to actually open the partition. So what we have to do is do crypt setup and then do LUKS open, and then again we'll do this SDA. Remember it's 3. This is what we locked in. Now this is what the folder or file will be called when you unencrypted. So you can do something like main. You can do like I'll say Arch Linux. Let's just say you have multiple systems if you want. So let's just say Arch Linux, and you can name it. Now I'll show you why this is important. As if I just do this, it will ask for our password. So we'll just give it our password, and now the drive will be unencrypted. So when it is unencrypted, it won't be at your default /dev/sd something. It will be in something called /dev/map. I'll just show you. So now we have to format our drive. We can do mkfs ptrfs btrfs. Since you're using that /dev/mapper and then Arch Linux. So this Arch Linux right here, you have to name it whatever you named your drive when you're decrypting it. So if you did main, type in main. If you did something else, just type that. So it'll do Arch Linux. There you go. Also, you can just hit tab and it'll auto-complete it. So now this drive right here, this is your actual drive instead of the dev/sda3. That is an encrypted drive. This is the unencrypted one. So we'll just hit enter, and now there you go. It is now a Btrfs drive. So again, for this Btrfs drive, I'll go the absolute basics. And this is just to show you how to do the encryption. Mainly, if you want a more thorough Btrfs setup, I will recommend watching the previous video, or I'll just put it in the description or in the iCard somewhere. Yeah. So again, like I said, absolute basic setup. So I'll just clear this out, and now we can do mount /dev/mapper /. By the way, if you are doing this, I would recommend you actually try this first in a, like if you have never done this before, I would recommend to try this in a virtual machine or something before you try it on your actual system, and just to get used to the encryption and stuff. So there you go. Now as you can see that we are not using the typical SDA3 or SDA whatever. We are using this mapper thing because this is our unencrypted drive. Remember, we have to do everything in our unencrypted drive, because if we do it on encrypted one, your system will literally say, what the heck is this? Anyway, now we are mounting this to our mount directory. Again, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Now we can actually just do cd/mnt, but usually I don't like to do this, as again it kind of confuses me. So I'll do it from here. So you can do btrfs subvolume create add. So this will be our root, and I'll just create one more like home. Oh my god. Oh my bad. mnt. So I kind of thought that I did do the cd, but I didn't. So it will be something like this. Yeah. So that worked. I'm very sorry about that. But there you go. Now we can do home. That was the most ironic thing I have ever done. Anyway, we'll do two partition. Like we'll do two subvolumes. One is root, one is home. I don't want too much. Again, that's for the mounting step. It gets a bit hectic when you do too much. So now we have to just mount. So we can do umount/mnt. Now you may be wondering why the heck are we unmounting it if you just mounted it. Again, watch the Btrfs video. It will explain a lot. But after that, now you have to mount our two subvolumes. So step one is to mount our root. So here's what you need to do. This will be a long command, so stay with me. First we'll do mount/o for -o for options. So what are the options? First, no a time. This will just increase. Please move time. Again, like I said that I covered this in a previous this video, so I'll just type it out. LSTD, and you can also do /1. That's to kind of the compression ratio, or like this is fine, but you can do this as well. Now we'll just do space cache equals to, we'll do v2 obviously. Discard equals to async. And then now we'll say subvolume. So subvol. So this is basically what are we mounting. And my cursor went to the bottom. So hold on. You know what? I'll put the whole thing in a bottom. There you go. Now we have subvolume here. Subvol equals to, remember, add. Let's do add. This will be our root. So what is our root exactly? Now if I do /dev/mapper, also again you can just do tab to kind of autocomplete it. And this is our actual root. So mnt. Remember, this is our root partition. So, and we're mounting it to our mount. Now there you go. I think, oh sorry. So you can see that I did a few spaces. You can't actually do spaces. I just wanted to show you. So make sure to not do any spaces. Don't do any spaces. There you go. That worked. I just wanted to show what the command is instead of cutting it, like it cutting out. So again, like I said, don't use any spaces. So we have root, and now we need one more. But before we mount the home, you have to make the directory first. So you can do mkdir/mnt/home. I am so used to pressing tab. So if you see this red line in the bottom, just let's know that I accidentally or I intentionally pressed tab. Okay, now after that is done, just pull up the previous command, this, and then change this to home, and also make sure to this add right here, change it to at home. So now it will mount our home directory. Now we have this too. Now we can't forget about our boot partition. So now we can just do mkdir. Oh my god. I do like to do -p. Like, yeah, you don't need it, but I like to do it. So -boot. There we go. Now we have our boot directory. Now we have to mount our SDA1. Remember, that is our UEFI partition. SDA1/mnt/boot. So there you go. Now we have our boot partition. There you go. That is now mounted. So for the basic, again, I'll do a pretty straightforward setup instead of doing the entire, like all the things that you need for a full Btrfs install. Just to keep things simple. So /mnt/mnt base. And then we'll get linux-firmware, and then obviously we need sudo. Like you can also get Linux headers. I would recommend it. Linux headers, they are pretty important. And then we'll get sudo. I like to get neovim for typing out stuff. And then make sure to get your CPU, because if you're using Intel, just do Intel-ucode, or if you're using AMD, just do AMD-ucode, depending on what you're using. But again, I'm doing this in a VM, so yeah. Just to show you guys, so Btrfs procs. So make sure to get this. This is very important. You'll need this. Also procs, and yeah, that's about it for the base system itself. So let me just get it installed first. Then we can get into the extra packages that we will need. And now again, like I said, you can install other things at this point. You can install like the KDE and stuff. If you want your full system, like everything that you want, you can get it right here. But for this one, like I said, let's get the base system installed first, then we can get other stuff to kind of show you how to configure your system to be able to boot from an encrypted drive, because there's a bit more setup that needs to be done. So I'll get back to you after this is done. And again, if you do enjoy this type of tutorial, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video. Also do support me on my Patreon, like I said, if you do enjoy it, if you do find it helpful. Okay, now that is done, we can move on to next steps of the setup. So first, again, obviously we have to create the fstab, because the system will stab us if we don't do it. Yep. Here's a fun fact. In case you didn't know what the fstab actually does, the fstab file basically just tells your system where to mount what. If you don't have this, your system will just be very confused on where to mount what drive. So if you have other drives that you want mounted as soon as the system boots up, you can add it onto this fstab file. So there you go. The more you know. Yeah, I'll just add it. I don't care. Now we'll just chroot and then /mnt, obviously, and we have a working system. Clap, everyone. We are in. Now just to check if everything is working, now let's just go to nvim/etc/fstab. We have a bit more to be done here, so let's see. So in here, let's see. So in case while doing this, if you got something like subvol ID or subvolume ID, basically, you don't need it. So yeah, make sure to remove that in case you got it. So if you didn't get it, it's fine. So there you go. Let's do that. Clear it out. Again, we'll do typical installation stuff. Time, date, CTL. We'll do set -ntp true. For me, I don't need like NTP. If you need it, you can enable it. Let us set the time zone. Here's a fun way to do it. You can actually use the time date CTL and then do set time zone. This is something I recently learned. I didn't know this before, but you can do set time zone. I'm going for Asia and then my country, obviously my place, and that basically does everything we did manually, but we don't have to do it manually. So the more you know, like I said, like I don't know everything about everything, so it's kind of fun to learn new things. So yeah, now we'll just this part we'll just add the local. So you'll do n_us dot utf. Now you can just edit the file, but I like to do this like this because I don't know, it kind of feels the arch way. So yeah, now just do this and then we'll do this. Or we can do two, why not? Because this is the only thing that we will need. So the local /etc/local gen. Yeah, this is the file that we need and put it in there. There we go. Now we need something called conf. And then in here we'll just close delete this and then just put lang in front of it. There you go. I'll just do this first, and then now we can do local -gen. Cannot open local definition file. Did I miss something? Oh, my bad. I have to do capital US. Sorry about that. There you go. Now it should work. There you go. Now, in case like the double, what the double arrow does is add it to the file, and if you just do one, it will just override everything. If you just override it and just do, if I do cat, you'll see it just has this one thing in it. So yeah. That was a mishap I wasn't expecting to happen. So yeah, and then yeah, as I need host name, so I'll do echo encrypted. I'll do this and then in /etc/hostname. Now again, I'm saying this a lot of time is this is not the full art setup. There is a lot that needs to be done before and after this. It's just a very bare bones setup just to show you how the encryption part is done. So you guys have an idea of what to do in case you want to do the encryption. There we go. Now we that should do it. And again, like I said, there is more that needs to be done. You have to set your host and stuff. And now what else is there? So we have a lot that needs to be installed, but like I said, for bootloaders, I will do refined first, as it does make it it makes the thing a lot easier. We can also use GRUB, but yeah, refined is a bit newer, so it does work with a lot of encryptions and stuff. But yeah, it should be fine. So first thing is I need color for this. So I can do NVim, and then also you can use Nano or any other text editor that you prefer. You don't have to use NeoVim, but yeah, I'm just showing you what you have to do. So NVim and then nvim/etc/pacman not pacman.conf. There you go. Edit this config file, and after you have opened it, okay, in case you are following along with NVim, I'll just tell you what you need to do. Just use your arrow keys to move around in here, and the part where you see color, I just like to add this part. Also, there is something that I do also like to add as this multilib. Again, if you are a gamer or something, you can get this, but it's kind of habit at this point to get this. So like I said, you can press the arrow keys and then hit delete. Do not use backspace on this, and then type in :x, and it should save and exit the file. There we go. Okay, now we can do pacman-syu to basically update our system or upgrade it if there is any upgrades available. So there are no upgrade available. That's great. So now get ready because we have a lot to install. So since I did say I will show you both bootloaders, first, let me show you refined. So refined, and then base, and then base-devil, and then like I said, we have Linux and stuff like headers. We did install previously, so we don't need it again. And then yeah, we need EFI boot mgr. And also for this, again, I won't install Plasma or anything. Like I said, it's just to show you how the encryption works. You can check out like my channel. There's like a whole bunch of videos on how to set up everything thing that you should need. So yeah, make sure to check the other videos out as well. There you go. Now, what else do we need? For now, I don't think we need much. Also, I'll get network manager because yeah, obviously I need that. Network manager. You know what? I will get a simple network manager. So this is all you need. But for if you want to use GRUB, I'll just install GRUB as well. Just go show you that how to do that. Like I said, there's a lot more that needs to be done here. This is not a full encryption setup. So let's install all of this. Okay, now, like I said, let me just enable network manager and system CTL, enable network manager. There you go, it is enabled. Let me just clear this out. And then I can do nvim /etc/mkinitcpio.conf. So we have to add a few things here. So let me just open this up. As you can see, there's a lot in here. Don't be like, don't get scared. So first, go to this module section and in here just add Btrfs. Also, again, if you're make sure to press A before you start typing. Btrfs, there we go. There you go, Btrfs, and then in the hooks section, let me just scroll down. There should be one there. So once you see this hook, make sure that you put it exactly where I put it because it is very important where you put this. So yeah, make sure of that. So let's go to here, keyboard, key maps. We don't need it. We need it after this block and before file systems. So after blocks, make sure to put encrypt. Yeah, it kind of just, there you go. See, we have encrypt in here. I'll just delete the space in case it freaks out. So you have encrypt and yeah, that should be it. So after block, put encrypt and that should be about it. Yeah. Now I'll just save this. Again, like I said, press escape, do :X and there we go. So after clearing it out, now we have to do mkinitcpio. Yeah, I can tab it -p Linux and then hit enter. And this will do what regenerate the, I forgot what this is called, but you'll see that it does regenerate encrypt and it does have the module Btrfs in here somewhere. There's a lot of text. Now at this point, like now we are ready to install the bootloader. What I'll do is make a snapshot. Like I'm using a VM, so just to show you both methods of doing this, like both with refined and with GRUB. So first I'll show you with refined. So let me just take a quick snapshot of this. There's a few snapshots already. So there you go. Right here. Take a checkpoint. There you go. Now I'll put it like this so we can just come back to it. For now, I won't frame it. So there we go. Now after taking this snapshot, let's see. So again, like I said, we did install both. So now we can do refined -installed. So first we'll do refined as this is pretty straightforward to do. So just press enter and it really just installs it. Like I said, it's pretty easy. And then type in bulk ID. Yep. Now you can see there is a lot in here, but what we need is SDA3. So the one right before there. So what we can do actually is just literally just do this, pipe it into grep and then do /dev/SDA3. So this will just output that. Now, this is very important and also pretty handy because we can literally just do this and enter this into the file we're going to put. Now, this may seem a bit complicated, but trust me, it's not that complicated. Do double this. What is this called? It says greater than. I get them confused for some reason. But anyway, do this and then do /boot/refined Linux config. So this is the file that you need and basically put that line into here. Now, this will be important. I'll show you why this is important, but first let's put it in here. Now if I do nvim and then / like I said, boot/refined linux.conf, you'll notice that there it is in the end of this file. Now why did we do this? So we need this in here because we have to put this UUID somewhere. So let me first delete everything as we don't need everything. We just need the UUID of this and the rest we don't need. So yeah, make sure to get this. And after this, in like I said, nvim, you can press Y and Y to basically copy this entire line, and to paste it, we can just go to here. And so after everything, like with standard options, we can just put, first I have to go to edit mode. Oh my god. And then in here, we just have to first put, add to do log level. I don't know why it is not in here, but sure. Log level equals to 3. And then we'll do quiet. And then in the next section, we have to put script device, and then put equal and the line that we just copied. So I'll do escape P and there you go. It pasted in. I have to put it on the top, not in here. There we go. Now we don't need this, so just remove that. Make sure everything is connected. So there we go. That is that device, and then after we have the UID, we have to do colon Linux. Basically the name you put in that, like when you're unencrypted it, make sure to put that, and then press space and then root. And for root, we have to specify where the root is. So it is in /dev/mapper/arch/linux. There we go. Now we can put root flags if we want. So we can do root flags equal to Subvolume, because we are using, like I said, Btrfs at, and then I think everything should be fine. We can put RW, why not? And that should be it. Yeah, now we can do save it, and let's just do refined -install, just to kind of reinstall it and refreshing it. Now we can just check it if that customization is still there. We can do cat, and yeah, there you go. We have UEFI, and yeah, I'll just add a user. Why not? Let me just clear this. User add. Like I said, with Arch Linux, it really doesn't matter what order you do everything. Like after you have booted in the system, it's like as long as you do everything, it's fine. Also, I think I forgot to add, okay, yeah, I forgot to add a root password. So there we go. Let's just add that. And then I'll just add a user password. There we go. Now we have to do editor equals to nvim vi sudo. Remember we installed sudo. So there it is. And in here we have to find the wheel. There we go. Now I want to just what do you call it? Like uncomment it. Yeah, there you go. That's the word I'm looking for. There we go. And that's about it. We can actually do sync to sync the system. Now we can do exit, and now we do umount. That's it. So that it will just unmount everything that is mounted. Usually, like everything that is required for the system to run, it won't. Like do. Also, something I did learn is if I do reboot -n, it does the same thing as reboot now, so which is great. So we do -n, and let's just hope this works. There we go. Now we have, as you can see, this one, which is our default system. This is a fallback bootloader. So let's just boot it, and as you can see, there you go. It asks for a password, so we can just give it our password, and they should let us boot in. There you go. Now there is no like system or anything, so it is a bit weird, but that should be it. So let's pacman-s terminus fonts. I need to do sudo, obviously. Font, do set font 132b. There you go. We are in our system. Now, like I promised, I will show you how to do this in GRUB as well, because I am a great YouTuber. Anyway, let me just, I think I can do this. Let me just, like, without using the snapshot, let's see if I can do it. So if I do refine-uninstall, refine remove, I think it's called remove, I think. I forgot. How do I remove this? Oh, it's pretty straightforward. It basically just do rm-r/boot/EFI. No, it's in boot, like everything is in boot. So EFI/refine should be here. There you go. We have to remove this, and that should be it. Oh yeah, I need to do sudo again. There you go. We have uninstalled refine. Now for GRUB, again, you may be wondering like it isn't be done this. You know what? I'll log into root, because that will basically emulate the same system basically. So if I do exit, sorry, root, and then the password for root. There you go. Now this is basically the same as doing this from the install script. We just have a user this time, so that's about it. Other than that, it's basically the same thing. So when doing this with GRUB, remember the bulk ID command. So as you can see, every command is available still here. So this thing right here, we can actually do it literally the same thing, but first we have to install GRUB. So you can do grub-install grub install -target, and then equal x86_64-EFI and -EFI-directory equals to /boot. Like I said, same setup. And then we can do, oh yeah, and then it is --bootloader-id equals to, I'll just go with GRUB, and that should be it, to be honest. Yeah, let's just hit install. It will install it. Now after it is installed, before upgrading anything, remember this right here. Where is that? This command right here. Just modify this to do modify this to do GRUB, and then no, for GRUB you have to go to etc default, and then GRUB. So get into this file right here. You don't have to get into it, just put that in there, and after you have done that, we can actually edit it. So you can do nvim/etc. I think I made the thing too big. I'll just make it a bit smaller so you guys can see all the commands. And master-124b. Yeah, there you go. It's much more usable at least. So here's the previous command in case any of you were wondering, and we just have to edit that file. So let me go with nvim. There we go. And in here, see this line right here. See, this seems familiar. Yeah, we just have to add this line right here onto that. So we'll just delete everything that we don't need. There we go. Now again, just remove this. We just have to use UEID. Oh my god, don't go there. There we go. So now we'll just escape, hit YY. So we copied this over, and then we'll just paste it in here. You see this default right here? We'll just paste it in there, or we can just put it in here. It should be fine. Okay, now yeah, in this part we have to put, like I said, crypt. To be honest, I don't think it really does matter, but I'll put it right here. Why not? So you can do crypt device. I think yeah, it's better to put it up here. So device and then equal. We'll just paste it in here. Yeah, there you go. It got pasted in. Remove this. And then after this, we have to put, after the UID, we have to put, like I said, Arch Linux, since that is the name that you put. If you put anything else, make sure to put that in here. And then, like I said, we have to do our root. Our root is in like equals to /dev/mapper/Arch Linux. So this is basically our root. And to be honest, that should be it. Yeah, we can also put, again, it's very similar to what we did with GRUB, but just keep note this like exactly doesn't translate to systemd boot. So if you are using that, there is a separate setup for it. Yeah, goes to add, and to be honest, that should be it. Yeah, let's just save it. And now after saving it, we can do like we can do grub-mk-config-o/boot/grub/grub.cfg. There we go. Let's see if this works, or does it throw an error? Hopefully it did not show an error. Now after that is done, moment of truth. Let's do reboot now. Let's see if this GRUB even pops up. Hopefully GRUB pops up. I think I have to shut down the system instead of rebooting it because I just changed the bootloader. Yeah, I think I have to shut this down and reboot it. Like, okay, let me just turn this off. Start it again. Yeah, there you go. Now we have GRUB. And then if I just go in here, there you go. You just ask for the password. We give it the password and it should just boot up. There you go. It is booted up. We can do login to our user and you can do anything you want. And like I said, this was not a full Arch install guide with encryption. This is just the encryption part. So in case any of you do want to get into encryptions and stuff, you can follow this guide and kind of pad it with however you want to set it up before and after. So this is just the encryption part. So in case any of you needed to know how to encrypt your Arch Linux system while setting it up, this is how to do it. So with that, like I said, if you need any other help with anything else, make sure to check out the channel. There is a lot of videos that will help you guide it through your Arch Linux journey. If you want desktop environments, check out that. If you need multiple installs guides on how to install it, different types, we have that. Or if you just want to have fun, we also have those as well. So make sure to check out the channel, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and also support me on my Patreon. Follow me on all the socials and everything there is. I'll put the links in the description and everything else. And thanks for watching and staying till the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.